How are we doing, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. I've got a slight review, but mainly an unboxing to do for you tonight. It's I don't think I've actually done a review of this album properly. This came out just before I started the channel, but here it is. This is the Longbox edition of Titans of Creation by Testament. The Longbox seems to be making a bit of a comeback at the moment, much like the cassette. Longboxes, to my memory anyway, weren't really much of a thing in the UK, more of an American thing. But I've got no problem with them. They look pretty cool, as long as it's like a cool extra edition or whatever. But yeah, I quite like them. The only other one I've got here is of Weapons of Our Warfare by Deliverance, and yeah, they reissued the first like 2 or 3 albums, or I think they did a series of reissues, and yeah, just for this one they did it in a long box. So I think it was either that was how you got it. So yeah, pretty cool. I'll just take the CD out, put it on the thing, and then I'll put that on my box set shelf behind me there. Yeah, so this is the latest album by Testament. This is actually the 3rd edition I've got of it. I got the All Singing, All Dancing edition when it came out. I don't know if I ever shared this. Yeah, I think I got this just before I started the channel as well. So this is a really cool edition. I'll probably do a unpacking of that. I know I say this every time I review a band, but I will be doing a whole back catalogue review of Testament at some point. They're one of my favourite bands. Might do it as a 2-parter or something, but yeah, I'll go through everything I've got then. So yeah, I originally got that. That's a exclusive coloured vinyl, and you get a CD with it. But then I couldn't resist. I spent a small fortune on this one as well. This is the Japanese edition, and this one you got a live album in with it, and you got the set list here. This was live in Tokyo on the Brotherhood of the Snake tour, and that's a really good album as well. It'll probably get reissued over here at some point for like a fraction of what I paid for it, and I'll look like a div, but there you go. Anyway, yeah, so Longbox edition. I've just took everything out. These things can be a bit of a bastard to open. You kind of end up, yeah, having a faff about with that. So I thought, well, I've unpacked it once. I'm not putting it back together. Not before doing the video, anyway. So you get a sticker and a badge. And here's the main event: the CD, and you also in this edition you get a Blu-ray of the video album, as they're calling it, which is basically they filmed a music video for every song on the album. Obviously, the last track is an instrumental, and that you just get the ending credits for that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's I sat and watched it and enjoyed it. It's basically the band in a studio setting, as if they would film a video. I think Children of the Next Level was released just ahead of this a few weeks ago. Obviously, Gene Hoglan was still in the band at the time, so this was his sort of parting gift from the band. It was the last thing he did before leaving, which is a pretty cool thing to have done before he left. Obviously, Dave Lombardo's in the band now. Yeah, so the first couple is basically them, like any other music video, and it's pretty much the same all the way through, but one's wearing a jacket, and there's a change of tops now and then. There's a slightly different format. Ones might be black and white, one's a bit smoky and a bit more thing. There's different focusing levels and stuff like that. They've obviously just done it all in one shoot, and then the editor's gone and played with it. There's a couple of on the, is it Dream Deceiver and Night of the Witch? Dream Deceiver has this thing of there's a girl in this makeup and she's doing some psychedelic dancing, and it kind of cuts to that. The Witch cuts to some woods with a witch. you know, stuff like that. So the other stuff was thing, and it sort of flicks back and forth between some footage now and then. So they throw a few things in, but the band setting is pretty much them in this studio. Yeah, and it's cool. I mean, much like these streaming concerts that they did during the lockdowns, similar sort of thing to that, really. I think, you know, if I was at the meeting, I probably would have gone, see, why don't you just blast through the thing live? I think I would probably have would have preferred that. You can still throw in all the different, you know, imagery in that. Much like I know, for all its faults, not defending the album, but if everyone remembers, St Anger came with a DVD. They were just in a rehearsal studio, in all fairness, but they played the album in full. I think, you know, as much as whether you like that album or not, that's not the point I'm making it. I thought that was a cool extra to have. So maybe doing that, combining that with what they've done here. So doing a video album, but doing it live, that might have worked. But I bet playing it live would probably would have been a hell of a lot more straightforward if they just played the album through some PAs and the guys just mimed like they do the music video. It was probably easier to do. So, you know, I don't want to do a. I hear Joe Elliott now going, "You don't bloody want much, do you?" But yeah, is it essential though? Not really. It's a cool little extra, and it's an extra I'm glad I had. I knew I was getting it. That's why I got it, because I like the Longbox thing, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm curious about that, and I'm a completist when it comes to Testament. I'm not a completist with all bands, but when I've, you know, some bands I am, and Testament's one of them. So might as well do a review for you quickly. Yeah, it's one of the better albums in Testament's. They didn't really split up, did they? But there was a reunion, so that sort of, the formation of Damnation was kind of like their Brave New World, their reunion album. Obviously, because although they never officially split, there was a bit of a long hiatus between that and the Gathering. But and yeah, they've been on pretty good form ever since. I think Brotherhood of the Snake needed I think they're a bit on. There just wasn't much in the tank for that album, was it? There's some good moments, but I think there was a bit of autopilot on there. This one, they came back in full force, and yeah, I haven't heard it in a while and listened to it. Obviously, I listened to it today when I watched the Blu-ray, and yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's aged pretty well. This was, you know, me and Luke, who I do Maiden Cast with. We saw Testament in London the week this album was released. I think it was Children of the Next Level they opened with, but I can't remember what song it was. But no, yeah, Children of the Next Level was played for the first time live ever that night, and then a couple of days later the world shut down. So it's quite a it's a pretty funny memory I've got of that. But yeah, the album's aged pretty well, and yeah, Testament on the list for me to do a retrospective at some point. If you haven't heard the album, obviously you can check it out on YouTube or whatever. But if you not bought the album, yeah, I'd say jump in and get this edition. Get this one. If you have got the album, is it really worth getting again? Not necessarily, unless you're sad like me. But I'm glad I've got it. So, yeah. You don't really have to get it again if you've already got the album. But if you haven't got the album, this is the edition to get. I think I think that sums it up pretty well. So, right, I'm working on another video at the moment, which I'm hoping to get done this week. And then I've got a retrospective. I'm going to be seeing Razor in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to go do their catalogue. I'm going to be re-listening to everything anyway in anticipation for that gig, so I might as well tie in a video with it. And then Dave Martell from the Bizarre Archives is coming back on the channel, and we're going to be going through the back catalogue of Nevermore. Really looking forward to that. And all the rest of the stuff that will come along the way, I'll be covering as well. So, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, help the channel out. Give us one of them. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I don't know why everyone insists on telling you that. You know to do it, but apparently you don't unless you get told. Some weird psychological thing. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. And if you're new to the channel, this is your first video, welcome aboard. Nice to have you. And I'll see you all later. Take care now.